Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm diving into week 5 of my journey on Zepbound. If you've been following along, you know I've been documenting my experience with this medication, and this week has brought some interesting changes. This was my first week on the 5 milligram dose. But before I get into the weeds of my experience, I want to address something that's very important. I've had somebody ask me when or if I thought they should move up to a higher dose. This isn't the first time I've been asked this question. It's important to remember that your experience is yours alone and that you shouldn't model your plan to better health after somebody else's experience. The only two people that should play a part in your decision to increase your dose are you and your doctor. I know people that have stayed on the 2.5 milligram longer than the typical 4-week introduction phase. I also know people that went to 10 milligram and absolutely hated it. So they reverted back to 7.5 milligrams and they intend to stay there for the duration of their treatment. Nobody knows you better than you. Don't feel pressure to change what you feel is right for your treatment. Now let's jump into my week 5 experience. On day 1, I felt a huge burst of energy about 2 hours after my injection. That energy took me through the whole day. Honestly, this is something I didn't expect when I started Zepbound, but it's been a very pleasant surprise. My mental clarity and physical energy have improved in ways I hadn't anticipated, and it's been really helpful for me both mentally and physically. But of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. That evening, I started to feel really nauseous. It was by far the worst nausea I've had so far on Zepbound. Now, full disclosure, I did eat a bit late that evening, so that could have played a role, but it also could be the new higher dose of Zepbound I'm on. The nausea lasted all night with just a little bit of an improvement after midnight. It did allow me to get just a little bit of sleep, but it was just a terrible night. So by the next morning, I still felt pretty awful when I woke up. The nausea came in waves throughout the day, and honestly, it was so tough to shake it. Given that it's March, I started to wonder if I had caught a stomach bug or something. It was hard to tell, but I figured I'd just wait and see how things played out. Also, my blood pressure was high that morning. That's pretty normal because when your body's fighting something off, it does go into stress mode, which can cause an increase in both blood pressure and heart rate. By Wednesday, I was back to feeling normal, thank goodness. But I've noticed something new. I'm cold a lot more often now. Before starting Zepbound, I was always a bit on the warm side, but now I find myself reaching for sweaters, socks, blankets, whatever I can get my hands on to get warm. This isn't something I expected, so I did a little research and I came across some information on the National Institute of Health's website and a few health blogs that I've been referring to on occasion. And just a quick disclaimer before we dive in, I am not a medical professional. Everything I share in my videos is based on my personal experience with Zepbound and some information that I dig up along the way from reputable resources that are available out there on the web. So please consult with your healthcare provider before making any decisions about your own treatment. So here's why we get cold on these medications. When taking GLP-1s like Semaglutide or Tirzepatide, our metabolism can change and that can impact temperature regulation. Medications that affect blood sugar can alter how our body perceives and manages temperature. Plus, as we lose fat, which acts as insulation, we might become more sensitive to temperature changes. It also impacts the hypothalamus, which controls appetite suppression and temperature regulation. The good news is that this side effect can be easily managed just by grabbing a blanket, a sweater, a cup of hot tea, or even a warm dog on your lap. By Thursday, the nausea I'd been experiencing was mostly gone, although it did come back a bit towards the end of the week. But it was manageable, and honestly, a couple of antacids or acid reducing medications did the trick for me. In terms of sleep, I am happy to report that it's been improving. Sure, I woke up a little earlier a few times than I did before I started my Zepbound treatment, but I never felt fatigued during the day. I've had steady energy levels, which is a huge win. Whether it's thanks to a healthier diet, the medication, or a combination of both, I've noticed a huge improvement in my mental sharpness and focus. I haven't had any issues with my seasonal affective disorder, and even my ADHD seems to be more under control. As for the numbers, I lost a little over 2 pounds this week. My blood pressure was 123/83, but I'm not sure how accurate that is because I forgot to take it before I had coffee. I know coffee can elevate those numbers within about 30 minutes of consumption, so that may have skewed things a little bit. That's a wrap on my week 5. If you've been following along, I hope this gives you a better idea of what it's been like for me so far. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next update. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.